You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Well, this is your boy Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. And today, we have a return guest that is a boss. My man here is a writer, but he is emerging as the breakout science fiction writer, creator in comics. What? The boss. I'm happy he's back. My man got 3 dope books from 3 different publishers. He keep busy. We're going to talk about each one of them, but specifically the one we see here, Dark Empty Void. Woo! Man, my man is definitely, I need to know what is he smoking, who his dealer is, because this is how crazy this stuff is. Let me introduce the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Zack Kaplan. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Al? Good to be back. Good to see you, man.
Likewise, brother. Thanks for coming on through and hanging out with me for a bit, from your busy schedule, because Jesus Christ, man, do you keep busy? I went through a boatload of books that you were working on, and I enjoyed every single one of them, every page, those words. Your teams are incredible. So we're going to start digging in. All right. So for those that are just unfamiliar, and how dare they be unfamiliar if they are, let them know a bit about yourself, where you OG from. And of course, this is like, why you love science fiction so much.
Yeah, I guess I grew up in the Midwest initially. When I was a kid, it was very like Spielbergian. So I definitely just feel like I was always looking up at the sky and dreaming about crazy sci-fi stuff, and always loved reading comics. And now I've been blessed to find myself writing sci-fi comics, and I've been doing it about 8 years now. My first one, I did not know what I was getting myself into, but I got the chance to do a little mini series with Image Top Cow called Eclipse. That was back in 2016, and I was burning people alive with deadly sunlight, and that did very well. And I fell in love with making comics. I absolutely loved it, and I dove all in. And since then, I've done a number of other books, Port of Earth with Image Top Cow, a couple Aftershock books, Lost City Explorers, Join the Future. I did a scout book, Forever Forward, another book with Image Top Cow called Metal Society, Dark Horse book called Breakout, Vault book called Mindset. And now this year I've got a few more that are coming out that obviously you've gotten the chance to check out. So
yeah, okay, we're gonna start digging in because there's a lot here to cover. Homie has been busy keeping himself busy. I'm digging everything he is working on now. Check it out, folks. How dare that one come up already? That's the one I want to show right here first.
Yeah, that's Raphael. That's Raphael Albuquerque. If you guys are familiar with him,
bro, sick. The art is, of course, gorgeous. Big shout out to Raphael. But the concept, the story, let those that are unaware, because right now issue 1 is in the shops.
That's right.
Right, you could get number 2. Number 2 is dropping soon, correct?
Yeah. Issue 1 sold out, but we have a continuation printing coming, and next week you can pick up. You should have more issue 1 on the shelf. Issue 2 is coming out. It's a Succession-style power drama of a family of immortal Vikings, and they're fighting John Wick style. And it's just an awesome blast of a series. We've got Frey Aswald there, which is our kind of we're trying to lay down some Erica Slaughter vibes in terms of a complex heroine that kicks ass, and she finds herself pitted against her family, which is these really tough immortal Vikings, and it's filled with that. It's my most action series I've ever written, for sure. Tons of action, definitely violent, definitely having a lot of fun with that. And Fico Ossio is the artist here, with Thiago Rocha as the colorist. Hassan Otsman Elha, who just won the Eisner for lettering. Amazing team. The artwork is just so dynamic and vivid. The fights come to life. The character moments are really heartfelt. You really get pulled into her story very quickly. The colors are like noir and modern, but still vibrant. Yeah, we're having a blast making this book, and it's really just great to hear that it's resonating with so many people.
So how did the team come together? Was it selected by you, or Dark Horse said, "Here, this is the squad"?
It was I pulled it all together like George Clooney in Ocean's 11. It was just we got a job to do. I had wanted to work with Fico for a while. For a couple of years, we had been trading emails back and forth, which I find lately is often the case. That, because I'm not looking to just do anything with any artist. I want to do the right book with the right artist. And Fico is very versatile. He did a book called No One Left to Fight at Dark Horse.
Oh, yes.
Really completely different style than this. I saw on his social media that he was dropping Batman sketches and Batman pages, just spec stuff that he was playing around with. And I was like, are you kidding me? You can do this too. This is amazing. Like, this is everything I love about it. Yeah, I was blown away. And I was like, I have an idea that's perfect for this. And we had been talking for a while. We put it together. I also brought it to Dark Horse. I just had Breakout be a real success with them. So they were excited to do more with me. And we actually initially had Jordi Belair on this series, but the fates intervened and it wasn't meant to be. So this colorist, Thiago Rocha, he's doing another Dark Horse book with me called The Midnight Shadows, which comes out in October. And he is a rock star of a colorist. I just cannot tell you how good he is. And so we brought him onto this, and he and Fico were like made for each other. Like, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, we pulled everyone together. Hassan I'd worked with on a few other books, Join the Future, and Hassan and I are working together. Oh, Mindset, and so and Beyond Real. So yeah, brought Hassan on, and yeah, we assembled the perfect team.
What's this book you say you dropping in Dark Horse in October? Was that a hint there?
Yeah, it's a book called The Midnight Shadows. So Midnight, if you're familiar, they're one of the largest synthwave bands in the world. And I actually knew them before they even became the Midnight, but they got 1 million listeners on Spotify. And I absolutely fell in love with their music. And out of kind of a half joke of, would you guys ever want to make a graphic novel? They said yes. So I teamed up with Dark Horse, and we're dropping. It's a full graphic novel, comes out in October. It's basically a cyberpunk Tron kind of story in a Cyberpunk Neverland. Very Peter Pan-esque. And Janoy Lindsay and Stephen Thompson are the artists. Thiago Rocha is the colorist. DC Hopkins is the letterer. And it's an original story. So if you like my work, if you've never heard of The Midnight, it's definitely a great ride. It's very much about nostalgia and 80s and 90s kind of video game culture. It's about a guy who gets sucked into a video game, and then they tell him that his real life is not real. The video game world is real. And he realizes that, he doesn't know which one is real. So it's very built on the shoulders of Tron, but we're doing our own thing, and it's a ride. So Thiago Rocha absolutely killed it for me on that book, and I brought him over to Kill All Immortals, and he kills it here too.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to admit I like Tron. Even as a kid, it just looks so different. And I like the movie. It was cool. I'm not deep diving, all right? I'm just having a good time with movies. So I enjoyed it. I like the franchise.
Yeah, me too.
And then you have this, that you mentioned it, Beyond Real. Talk about like not knowing where you at. Holy smokes, man. This, all right. Where were you mentally and all when you were doing this? Because this is a trippy book. It is fire though, but trippy.
Yeah, very.
The art, the colors, that moments are so bright. Sometimes they get faded. Like, yo, I mean, you as a reader, we also enjoy that ride, not just by reading it, but by the artistry. Fucking amazing, bro.
Yeah, thank you. This is our love letter to creativity for sure. And it's got 7 different artists over this 5-issue miniseries, and everyone from, just to list them for a second, Jorge Corona, Liana Kangas, Vincenzo Riccardi, Tony Fazula, Dennis Menhier, Luana Vecchio, Fabiana Mascolo, and a couple colorists in there, Jordi Belair. and Matea Iacono and Hassan letters the whole thing. And yeah, I became fascinated with simulation theory. I just love this idea that what if we are all living in a simulation? It's really,
you sound like Tom Booyu right now.
Yeah, I know. I think it's very interesting. And, you know, I feel like there's a lot of stuff like scientists get into like quantum mechanics and we can't understand it, and entanglement. And there's all these like cool new theories coming out, but it makes us wonder kind of, maybe we don't understand what's going on here. Maybe we're in a simulation. But I live in a world of artists and artistry. I'm making comics, being creative. Like everything we make is very artistic. So I kind of couldn't help but wonder, like, if we are in a simulation, why would we think the simulation is all like numbers and matrixy? Like, could it be artistic? Could it be surreal? Could it be abstract? And so it was this idea that if someone had the ability to travel through the layers of the simulation, would they find completely different experiences, completely different sort of layers as they went through? And so that's the story. It's a young artist that's in an accident. She develops the ability to travel through different layers of our life's simulation, and each layer is drawn by a completely different artist, and it's absolutely stunning work. Each world is completely different and dynamic and beautiful and versatile. And she's obviously trying to get not obviously, but she's trying to get to the center of the whole thing, center of the simulation, to find the creator. Her lover has been in an accident and she's trying to save him. And it's also kind of a personal story of her experiences as an artist, and about any of us who've ever done anything creative and experiencing doubt, experiencing trying to find your own voice, experiencing trying to find the pressures of business on your craft, and just trying to show that kind of journey. And so proud of the book. Yeah, it's Vault Comics. It's fully collected in September, and yeah, absolutely. Please, if you're check it out. It's one of the most gorgeous books of the year, I feel like. I mean, I'm totally biased, but the artwork is absolutely stunning. Yeah. So
to me, you know, I know it's your book, it's not my book, but I say yes, it is a gorgeous book. But yeah, I'm a big fan of colors and movement and how things flow. Whoa, yeah. Great effing job. I mean, for you to tell me it's 7 different artists and the story didn't get disturbed at all, but by just the sequences, like I said, the world's changed. Yeah, really, really great job by the whole squad here. And this is definitely eye candy. This is not self porn. This is coffee table porn. Because you can want people to pick this up and look at it, because it's a real piece of art. It is.
Yeah, leave this out on your coffee table, and then when someone comes in and they say you like comics, you go, just take a look at this and tell me you don't see this. Because yeah, the artwork is, and we each artist. I mean, this book took a long time to make, Al, because each artist, we were kind of going one by one to select them for the particular world, you know. So we get to a world where like all nature is coming to life, and you got to find an artist that can bring that sort of.
There's a beautiful scene there in the rain.
Yes,
with that, gorgeous. When you really look at what's going on, you're like, oh snap.
Yeah, like it's raining like neon colors essentially. Yes, and they're hiding under like a hillside that looks like that Tahitian goddess, you know, almost of an island like nature. And so, yeah, it's everything is alive. And Vincenzo Riccardi, there are not many artists, I think, that could have brought it to life the way he does. And Jorge Corona, you know, his world, the kind of complex characters portrayed in a light animation sort of style, that kind of duality. You know, we really went painstakingly to find each artist for it. So very proud of the team and all their work and the story. Yeah. So cannot wait. I know that a lot, the first issue came out, Vault actually did a giveaway, and they gave like 110,000 issues of the first issue just to readers to try to give them a chance to check it out. And the response was really amazing, that when this first issue came out, you know, beyond just great reviews, there was a lot of just people saying, I wouldn't have picked up this book, and I absolutely loved it. And so I'm really excited for all the trade waiters out there and everybody who waits to see the whole thing assembled to check it out this September.
Yeah, I'm digging these type of stories now more so than traditional superhero comics anyway, as I get older now. And yeah, it kind of shows how dope the medium of comics is as a whole. That, he could do so much more with it than just a traditional superhero or super action comic. Not to say that it doesn't have the action. It does, but it's not your traditional, story. It's really good. It's really, it's insightful. As a that's what I'm saying when I'm reading it. Like you mentioned, definitely about the creative experience. How much of did you experience yourself that you put yourself into this book? So I kind of felt like there were moments that kind of felt really deep. I'm like, where were you? What place were you in when you did that particular stuff?
I think I'm on the other side, which is even better. That it's hard. Sometimes as a writer and a creator, if you're a writer and creator and you're listening, that it's hard to tell a story when you're in the middle of a journey and you don't know where you're going. But I've come through the experience of being a writer and suffering doubt and suffering the rejection and suffering the industry telling me this and that, and trying to find my own style and find my own voice and all of that. Just it's a real journey. And so I've come through that now, and I guess it never ends, but I can look back on that and channel some of the experiences and the pain that I went through. And so this artist that we meet in the beginning of this story, June, she's going through a lot of that, and she's trying to figure out how it all fits. And there's this real thing too about, and this fits into the simulation theory. Is life predetermined? Is everything just fated to happen, or do we have choice? And as artists and creatives, we think we have choice. I mean, how can you tell me that if I sit down and I paint a picture, that picture was predetermined? I'm making choices as I create. But then there are so many things in the world, the earth spins and electrons do this and that, and everything seems to follow the rules, and everything seems to be on a path from the microscopic to the macro. And are we different, or are we on a path too? And so I found that kind of an interesting thematic exploration at how does art interact with predetermination, and are we on a path? And maybe we are, and it's just still beautiful. Maybe everything that comes out of us is a testament to all of our code, and our experiences are a testament to our code, and we're all predetermined and fated, or maybe not. Maybe there is some free will, or maybe our subjectivities are free will.
You messed me up at the beginning with that combo, big time, because I started thinking, I'm more on her side. Like, if everything is predetermined, it kind of sucks. Like, there is no free will then. There isn't. What are we talking? What am I even doing? Let me just stay still here. But maybe even that is predetermined, right?
Maybe. Yeah, it would suck if it's all predetermined. And that's June's point of view. Like, how awful if you're telling me it's all, but we can't know. We don't know. We'll never know. And at the end of the day, it's kind of how you wake up every morning and how the perspective you take to life. And if you just take a perspective of optimism, then you will be greeted by an optimistic path. And so those are things I kind of have come to believe over time. And so I think it's an exploration of that, but it was a really fun and fascinating journey writing this book about art and fate and predetermination. Yeah.
Excellent. See, my man gets all over the place. He is deep. And now we got the third and final book that we're going to talk about today. This one is dropping, another yet gorgeous book, Dark, Empty, Void, from Mad Cave Studios, baby.
Yeah.
Something 10 years at that. Big salute to them. Talk about it. This is a gorgeous book. And again, like, what do you do? What are you smoking, bro? Or is it just in the air? Is everybody smoking out there where you're at, and it just influenced you? Because Jesus, your brain, bro. I mean, again, these are all great stories, all out there stories, but all different stories. Like, bro, your versatility and your writing skills is just insane.
Thank you. I mean, they're all. What's funny though, I feel like they all share some common threads. I feel like I like to make you think, Al. I like to write something that's going to make you think. I like to write something that's going to have some sort of big fun hook, like, ooh, we're talking about immortality, we're talking about simulation theory, we're talking about black holes, but ultimately we're talking about a character, we're talking about her perspective on the world, we're talking about her trying to find her way through it all. So yeah, I come back to some of the same kind of guiding interest again and again. Dark, Empty, Void is it's about black holes essentially, but it's also about our perspectives. The story, if people are not familiar with it, basically scientists are trying to create a stable microscopic black hole, and with kind of a collider, and they lose control, and all sorts of cosmic energy and matter start spewing out. Most interestingly of all, a young human teenage girl, and they cannot make heads or tails of this, nor can they make heads or tails of the crazy things that this human stranger is saying. So one of the scientists calls his ex-wife, who is a psychologist, to come basically.
I could be the ex. Jeez.
Estranged, yeah, and she's an estranged wife, and calls her to come solve the mystery, and they have to solve the mystery of this stranger and what's happening to the black hole to basically save the Earth from being devoured whole. And it's a ride. It's a cosmic horror thriller in the vein of Annihilation or Aliens or Arrival, and Chris Shehan is the artist here, Francesco Segala, the colorist, and Justin Birch of And World is lettering, and absolutely gorgeous book again, and really emotive and just tense. It's really tense, which is awesome.
It's scary because again, I like science, and I read about the collider that they built and these type of tests, and then you write stuff like this. I'm like, oh my god, we're doomed, yo! Please,
yeah, they would never do something like this, right? They would never do something like this.
Bro, he's telling us what's gonna happen. It's this. Zack says we're gonna go choom and we're done, bro.
I read an article actually where they were in researching this book, where they were talking about wanting to try to do this, and that was all I needed to hear. The scientists actually talking the technobabble of how they thought they, with a bigger collider and with the right instrumentation and with using this and that, they could do this, and they could study a microscopic black hole. And I was like, I mean, they're gonna do it. So here we go.
You know, please, now since everybody wants to go to Mars, take that equipment up there, please.
Yeah, don't do it here, yeah.
Well, take it to the moon. Take that shit out of here, bro.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous book. So how many issues we planning on this bad boy?
This is a 5-issue miniseries.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
okay.
and this one has not come out yet. So if you are interested in this one, that
one is September 11th.
It comes out September 11th, and yeah, the final chance to order it is this weekend. So if you're interested, absolutely call your shop. Yeah, it's really, and then there's this kind of theme again about the way we view the world, and that kind of becomes symbolic. The main character is a college professor of psychology, and she's fearless at times and strong and brilliant, but she's got a lot of pain, a lot of problems, very complex, and it's on her shoulders to save the world, and obviously, how the hell is she going to do that? She's having a hard time taking care of herself. So there's a lot, she's bringing in a lot of cynicism and a lot of just the despair, and then she's facing this situation, and it's kind of a metaphor for how we view problems and challenges in the world. Do you face them with cynicism, or do you face them with hope? And sometimes it's really hard. The other cool thing about this book is it is a sort of a creature horror story, and we only get a kind of a inclination of that in this first issue, but we have some elements that are coming in terms of what comes out of the black hole. We have a lot of fun with that, so there's a component to that too.
Yeah, we gotta hope that not just some nice young lady comes out. We gotta hope that following something nice, something bad is gonna come.
That's right. There's always something good with the bad. That's right. That's right.
So talk to me. Why bring this particular story to Mad Cave Studios?
I've been very impressed with Mad Cave. I don't know. I mean, they're 10 years in the game, but I feel like the past 2 years has been something. I see a lot of comic creators that I've absolutely loved, flocking over to Mad Cave. I see them getting into stuff like Flash Gordon and Dick Tracy, and then
classic IP, man.
Yeah, and then Disney books and stuff like this. And this all tells me that this is a publisher that's here to stay. They're putting roots down. They're working with creators like Zach Thompson, David Pepos, and I'm just impressed by the work, and I'm especially impressed by the pedigree of horror stuff. So, when I started talking to them, I thought this was a really great project to bring to Mad Cave, because I feel like they have been really creating quite a solid pedigree of horror work. And, I thought this was an exciting to just follow the footsteps there of the horror kind of line that they've been putting out.
I mean, I've been loving the company and marketing team. Have been doing wonderful. I've been, Comic Crusaders has been following them since they started. So to see their growth like this, you're absolutely right. To see the energy and all the talent that does go there, obviously, that's a positive and great sign.
Yeah, it's always a good sign to see that level of energy. They've got these, a big booth at the conventions. But yeah, creators, I just can't stop hearing. I couldn't stop hearing great things about them. And it's always a good sign when you've got creators saying, they're getting creative freedom, they're getting taken care of. That's what you want. So I've had an absolutely amazing time working with them, so far. It's been fantastic. And I'm really excited to get this book out there and let everyone check it out.
Well, excellent. I mean, you keep working hard, man. How do you stay energized? How do you keep going? And the versatility, working with all different publishers and teams. Like, how do you find time on a day? What's the secret?
You got to be organized.
Thank you. Say that shit again. People don't believe I organize my places. Sometimes they're like, damn, it's me. I said, that's how you kind of.
Yeah, you got to be I'm very organized, very methodical, planning everything out in terms of when to expect, pages and art. And once you understand it, I mean, I didn't understand production and making comics when I got into it, but now that I understand it, it's easier to plan it out. But yeah, very organized. And I mean, comics, there's always something that comes up in comics that delays something or throws a wrench in it. I mean, nothing goes smoothly. There's always, hiccups. And so that's one of the things about working on many books is, it's the opportunity to just move over as far as my energy, my writing energy, putting my writing energy into this one, and then putting into this one. And just, I never want to not be writing. And so I'm always pitching, I'm putting together projects for 2025. I'm pitching for 2026. I mean, I'm always just continuing. Yeah. I mean, right now, if I were to pitch an idea to just a publisher without an artist or anything, there's a scenario where the artist that we get might be 6 months out. And then that artist is going to start to draw. It might take them, 9 months to get in that position. Then you've got to solicit it and preview it. And then it might not fit into the publisher slate, or you might want to put it somewhere else. There's all sorts of things that come up, and it all takes time. And so, once I was okay, I'm all in as far as being a comic creator that puts out a portfolio of work and wants to do this every year, you realize that you have to continue to play lots of hands, and you have to be, going a lot and be very organized about it, and accept all of the ride of all bumps and things go wrong and this and that. You just go, okay, this is delayed, or that's this and that, or whatever. Like, so much that's out of your control. So you just focus on what you can control, which is telling great stories and collaborating with great artists and sharing your love of your work. Yeah.
Preach, baby, preach. That's wonderful. That also answers the advice question as well at the same time. He killed two birds with one stone there. I mean, what's up with cons? You doing any conventions that we're going to see you at and pick up something lovely?
Yeah, I just did San Diego, which is a thing in and of itself. That's almost not really for comics. I mean, there's some comic love there, but
it's a pop culture con.
It is. I enjoy it, but it's not the same. I'm going to Rose City in Portland, which is, I think, at the top of September, and then I'm going to New York Comic Con at the top of October and mid-October.
I'll see you there.
Yeah, I'll see you there. Come by. I'll hook you up for sure.
You'll be hearing my loud ass over there.
Good.
I know there's a bunch of Puerto Ricans in New York, but I'm the loudest, I promise.
New York is the best. I mean, New York is the best. It's the best
for comics, right?
For comics, yeah. I mean, hands down, it's the best. It's the best artist alley. It's absolutely daunting how I mean, yeah, you cannot do that artist alley in one day. And they can't do it justice anyway. There are so many amazing creators. I mean, I get shell shocked just kind of like looking around, going like, it's impressive. It's really impressive, and it's definitely the best artist alley to go to.
Yeah,
So
the artist alley and the small publisher area are my two favorite areas. And for the small publisher, it's not a small area. There's so many awesome publishers out there with amazing product. Like, whoa.
That's right. There are a ton of small publishers out right now. There's a lot of new people popping up trying to get into it. Comics is always changing, you know. Every time one company goes under, another one pops up. All the more reason why, as a creator, I try to do books with a few different publishers, you know.
Yeah, man. Don't be a brand loyalist. Just go where the story fits best.
Yeah, for sure.
I believe that. All right. Here's what we got to do. So, any words of advice? I know you mentioned that earlier, but it looked like you want to add to that. So, any words of advice for any up-and-comers nowadays trying to step into the game?
Yeah, sure. Advice if you're trying to get into making comics. If you're an artist or a writer, I mean, I feel like, again, in the same way that I'm saying you want to play a lot of hands, I feel like you want to start short. And you might have heard this before, but I think the best thing you can do is create short comics to get don't come in and be like, I'm going to put together, you know, my 20 issue opus or even my 5-issue opus. I mean, I think that there's a lot of you can put a one shot out there, 20 pages, and really wow people. You can put an 8-page comic that shows up in an anthology that really wows people. Find artists that are doing impressive and unique creative things. Or if you're an artist, once you get comfortable in your own craft, push the boundaries, try to, you know, differentiate yourself and make your art unique and stand out. But I think that there's value in short, and there's value in being able to share something short and say, here's this, and then here's this, and then here's this, because we're all creatures of repetition. We all see something the first time and we go, oh, that's cool. And then we see it again and we go, okay, this person is, you know, really impressing me. And then you see another one, you go, oh man, I have to buy everything this person is doing. So I think there's value in kind of again and again and again. And that's easier to do when you put out shorter stuff. So, and you're not invested. And if you fail, you can get back up and do it again. So that's my advice, you know. Don't, if you're kickstarting something, kickstart one issue, you know, start small. The whole crowdsourcing thing is crazy to me. Like, it's blown up, but I don't know the first thing about that, but I feel like that's,
you haven't stepped into that world at all yet, right?
I haven't, no. And, yeah, I don't want to.
Thank goodness, not yet.
I don't want to do that.
You know, it's not for everybody, you know, and that's not.
I'm fortunate. I'm fortunate that I was able to get where I'm at, and I mean, who knows? Maybe one day I'll find myself totally coming around and wanting to do it.
That's where you're gonna have to print your opus at through.
That's right. But it's great. No, I mean, the one. It's a lot of work, but if you do it, you get these genuine fans and readers that will follow you a lot more, you know. So there's a lot of value to it for sure. And there's a lot more comic creators out there that are doing it really right and absolutely killing it in terms of the crowdsourcing comics. But it's another way to get your work out there. But beyond telling short stories, you gotta tell stuff that's true and authentic. You gotta tell stuff that's real, you know, that's real to you, that means something to you. You know, you got to find a way to get your voice into it. You know, don't worry about what people want. You got to figure out what story you would be excited to read on the shelf, and something that's meaningful. That goes a long way. You read something and you go, this creator is really they poured their heart in here. That, I feel like that stands out, that authenticity. So
it definitely stands out in all three of the books we discussed today. And for those don't know what I'm talking about, y'all come in late, you know, do a rewind. But we're talking about, first we spoke about Beyond Real. All right, you could pick this up from your comic shops right now on single issues. The graphics coming, you said, right? So
yeah, the graphic, all the issues are out, but the graphic novel is coming out September, like a month or basically a month from now. So yeah.
There you go. And that's through Vault Comics. So love to Vault Comics. Great books over there. And then of course through Dark Horse Comics, you can visit. You can check out Kill All Immortals. Issue 1 is in stores now. Then issue 2 is dropping. Look, this guy just stays busy. See, another one about to drop, Kill All Immortals number 2. And this is dope. I mean, if you love some ultra action, kind of what movies are giving us nowadays, and we see how everybody's loving it, you're gonna love this.
Yeah, John Wick action, but with immortal Vikings. But it's modern. I think that's the real twist here. It's like it's very modern and stylish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very mafia-ish, if you will. It definitely has a big old the immortal mafia. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
I love it. And then of course the Fire book that you got to get pre-ordered today, dropping September 11th from Mad Cave Studios, baby.
There's 2 covers. The one that you have up right there is the Christian Ward B cover, which is absolutely awesome. And then the other cover is Chris Shehan, that one right there. And Chris is our interior artist. So both really dope covers. Yeah.
They're really dope. I really like the color flow on this one a lot.
Yeah, I do
really
too.
Really pops. It is a fire. Again, Zach, you're an amazing writer. You have amazing teams working with dope publishers. Like, yo, man, just keep on from a fan to a creator. Salud, bro.
Thank you. Bro. Thank you.
You rock, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Everybody, please, you want to know what he's up to next? Yeah, he stays that busy. Well, we only gave you just a tad, just a wee bit of what he's up to this year. I mean, I gave you 3 books. He says even more stuff coming down the line. So for you to stay tuned and and see that scroll of stuff that he got, follow him on social media at Zack Caps. The links are below. I make it easy. I even got the link, for you to check out the Mac Cave Studios link for Dark Empty Void, which you could again pre-order from your LCS ASAP. So get that done today. Hit them up. Right, you definitely want this in your book. Get all these books, as a matter of fact. Because that's what you gotta do. Support amazing creators like Zack. And bro, this is what I need to know. This is my very last question before I say adios.
Yeah.
Out of these 3 books, if any one of them could be another project on the next plane, whether it could be a cartoon, a film, a TV show, which one would you choose to be one of those?
Oh man. Which one would I put next into into media, film, TV sort of thing? Where would I go? I feel like they could all be there in different ways. I mean, that's very hard. That's very hard.
Between my kids,
don't make me pick. I mean, I'll say this. I think Kill All Immortals would be an awesome FX TV show. I think it would be or like HBO. I feel like it'd be an awesome premium show. I want to see that family go to war forever. Dark Empty Void. I would absolutely love to see that movie. I would love to hand it over to God, there's so many great directors, but hand it over to the Annihilation team and let them go. Ooh. Basically. Yeah. Or it's hard for me to pick.
For me, Beyond Real works so well in the style of Spider-Verse based on how the artistry is, bro.
Shut up. That is right. That's I agree. If Beyond Real had to be done, it should be done in comic animation like Spider-Verse. Absolutely. I would not live action. It's a love letter to artists. That would be, for me, the most insane, and I just think it would be so. I think it'd be so hot. I think it would be people would.
It'll blow people's minds.
It would blow people's minds.
Netflix. Come on.
Yes, let's go. Yeah, Spider-Verse people, let's go. Absolutely.
It was about the second to third issue, and I started realizing that. I said, "Yo, this would look so dope if it was this." So it
would totally.
Great.
Totally.
Great. Zach, bro, you rock. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. About those projects. All right, so again, follow Zach on the socials and stay tuned for everything he's doing, man. This is the science fiction writer of our time, baby, in comics. All right, show that love to my fellow Crusaders that were tuning in. Thank you so much. We love you. Hasta la próxima. Huepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.com and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.